Hey guys, what's going on? This is djTLM. You're watching djTLMtv. It's time for another Q&A video, and this question comes from the comment section. And the question is, can you make a video explaining some moments where you had to solve technical difficulties? Common things that can go wrong. So let me start off by saying that this is one of those things that will happen to each and every one of you out there. You will, I don't know when, but you will experience technical difficulties. Something can and will go wrong eventually. And it doesn't matter if you're using vinyl CDJs, a DVS, or just a laptop, something can and will go wrong. And it doesn't have to be your fault. That's a different subject, but things go wrong. So if it never happened to you yet, be prepared that it will happen. First of all, when something goes wrong, the best thing to do is to keep your composure, stay calm. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. And even if you're not sure what it is, don't stand there looking like a big question mark and clearly expressing that you have no idea what's going on. Because you have to imagine, for the crowd, you are the one responsible for the music. When they hear music, the DJ is playing that music. When the music stops, the DJ is the one who stopped the music. That's how they're thinking. So when that sound gets cut off for whatever reason, they will be looking at you. And they might not be too happy. They might be giving you some very resentful looks. Brush that off. Don't take it personal. But it will happen, even if it's not your fault. So that's the first thing. And there's a million different situations. I'm not going to go through as many as I can in this video. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples and some advice. So that was the first advice. Stay calm. Know your equipment. Know the set that you're working with, but also try to have a basic understanding of how the setup works in a club situation, how everything is set up. That doesn't mean that you have to understand each and every function of the whole PA system, the whole club sound system, but have a basic understanding of what's going on. That way, when something goes wrong, you have the ability to assess the situation and maybe even see what's wrong. So first of all, of course, on your equipment. If you know your equipment and something happens, you will recognize if something is wrong there, hopefully. So you don't have to wait for some engineer or technical guy or stage manager to come and see what's wrong, because that will take longer, because most of the time that guy won't be near the stage immediately. And if it's something simple, you might look like an ass. Imagine if it's just a simple button on the mixer and you pressed it by accident and you lost sound and you're standing there like, I don't know what it is, and some other dude just walks up and does that and the sound is back. You look like an ass. So know your equipment. That can help. But there will be situations where there's definitely nothing you can do about it, and you just have to deal with that. So let me give you an example of a situation where you have technical difficulties that are definitely not your problem, or not your problem, not your fault. And that's a power outage. So losing power to the equipment, either through some sort of accident, or, and this takes me back a long time to a club where I used to play here in Amsterdam. It was a club where they had a problem with people letting other people in through an emergency exit. So people that were already in the club would open that emergency exit and let other people into the club. So they implemented a special security system that every time someone opened that emergency door, the power to the DJ booth would get shut off. So we would lose all power and all sound. This was their clever way of making sure that the security knew in an instant that the door was open, because if the sound is shut off, you notice that immediately. Now, if it was up to me, I would say that it would have been a much better idea to install a light at the front door where you have security. It's like a red light bulb or something, and that when that door opens, that light goes on, because they see that light and they know the door is open, but the music continues. But okay, that's a different, I digress. That was not the case. What happened was that the door would be opened and all sound was lost. So you had no power, no amplified sound. So you couldn't grab the mic and tell people what was going on because the mic wouldn't work either. Now, if that happened once, of course, the crowd is shocked. You're shocked as well. And they will be looking at you. Like I said, they look at the DJ because you were the one responsible for the sound. But this would happen like 3-4 times during one party. So by the third or fourth time, the crowd is getting aggravated and giving you evil looks. So in that case, you make sure that once you get power back after that second or third time, you grab a microphone and you explain to that crowd, please stay away from that door. When that door is opened, our sound gets shut off. There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, that helps a little bit because now people know that it's not your fault. But still, it was a nasty situation because the crowd loses their vibe after a while. If you get taken out of your zone every time, like that, by shutting the music off, you lose your vibe. Same for me as a DJ. I lose my vibe as well. I might be in a hype moment and bang, that sound gets shut off. And it took like 10-15 seconds for the sound to come back on after the door is closed. So sometimes we would go minutes without sound. Even thinking back to that, that was bad. In a situation like that, there's not much you can do because you cannot solve that. Now, there's definitely different technical difficulty situations where you could be the one who needs to solve the situation. If you're a digital DJ, you could have laptop problems. Now, I have to say, I've experienced laptop problems once with my last laptop, and it overheated. It got so hot that it just shut off. And yeah, I lost sound as well. And there was not much that I could do because you have to reset the laptop. So the only thing that I could do at that moment was make sure that I grabbed the CDJ that was there and just started a song. It wasn't a song that fit, but that CDJ was there, the CD was in there. You make sure you have some sound on because you want to have sound as soon as possible, because the longer it stays quiet, the more obvious it will become to the entire crowd that something is wrong. If the sound goes off for a second, and even if a different song comes back on, they will be shocked for a second, but chances are that when they hear a new song, they'll brush it off like, I don't know what happened, but okay, we have sound again. And that gives you time to fix your problem. So it's always a good thing. I don't do it a lot myself. I should, to have a backup system ready. Even if it's just your phone, connect your phone to the mixer, have a song ready on your phone as a backup. So when something happens to your equipment and the mixer is still working, you can play a song from there. That's one thing that could help. Make sure that music comes back as soon as possible. Another thing that you could do, if it's just a simple, it's not even a technical difficulty, but it's a mistake. Imagine that by accident, you stop the song that's playing. Either the old school way, that's how it happened to me, by lifting the needle off the record, and you lift the needle off the record that's playing. So that was an accident. I was playing, I was so hyped. I threw in a new banger, and I used to switch records rapidly. So I put on a new song, the crowd got hyped, I grabbed my next record, lifted the needle to switch vinyl, and by lifting the needle, I cut off the sound. So the whole crowd is like shocked. But it could also happen that you're playing with CDJs and you press stop to switch songs, but you press stop on the deck that's actually playing. Anyway, if you stop the music by accident, again, stay calm. Don't look like you made a mistake. Have a confident vibe, radiate a confident vibe. And what you could do when you stop that music by accident, if you have a microphone, grab that microphone real quick and hype up the crowd by asking them if they want to hear that song again. This is kind of like what they do with dancehall a lot. With dancehall music, a lot of times they will start the song, they will play the beginning, get that hype reaction, and then after a couple of bars, they will bring it back to the beginning. Well, they will bring it back. They'll reverse it or just bring it back to the top. Even if they're playing with a live band, sometimes they will bring it back like 5, 6, 7 times to that beginning, to that first part. So act like it was supposed to happen. act as if you stopped that song on purpose, get them hyped, and just start it from the top again. It could work, because you have to imagine a lot of people aren't really paying that much attention. And if you act like you didn't make a mistake, they'll probably not even notice. As soon as you start to act like you make mistakes, that's when they might notice sooner. Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about this for hours. There's a lot of things that can go wrong and will go wrong sometime, but just try to stay calm. Make sure you have music back on as soon as possible and keep it moving. Keep it moving. You can always make up for that mistake by hitting them with more good music and getting them back into that vibe as soon as possible. So I hope that helps you out. I might do more videos on this subject, but there's plenty of stories to tell when it comes to technical difficulties. So if you enjoyed this info, you know what to do. Make sure you click that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will be back real soon with more Q&A videos. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me, djTLMtv at djTLM.com. See you soon.